Sir, let me start with
Yes.
this. Kasi explosive, well, at least by appearances, explosive yung testimony ni Garma nung Friday. Pero I'm just wondering legally, ano yung implication nun with what she said and what she's trying to show? Ano yung sabit legally doon or liability legally doon ng mga people that she named?
Kasi, malaki ang implication ng legally, lalo na sa pananagutin ni President Duterte. For example, sa ICC, Crime Against Humanity, ang kanyang kaso ni President Duterte, there are two elements there. No? The first is widespread or systematic attack against civilians. Yan, proven na yon. No? Widespread yon mula pari hanggang hulo. Civilian naman yung pinapatay. Yung second element kasi ng Crime Against Humanity is knowledge of the attack. Ibig sabihin yung gumawa nun, alam niya na nag-a-atake siya. So ang proof niyan kay President Duterte were the public orders na kill, kill, kill. And yung second, yung public statements niya, yung ini-encourage yung mga police, i-amnesty ko kayo, bahala ko sa inyo. So that's the second evidence, kumbaga, ng knowledge niya. But itong sinabi ni Colonel Garma, yan ang nagtahi talaga. Kasi hindi lang pala siya nag-order ng kill, he ordered the initiation using the Davao Death Squad model. At pangalawa, yung siya ang nagpondo mismo. So that immediately changes everything. Kasi now, matutulog na talaga sa kanya ang EJK na to because not only did he order it, he even funded it. No? May reward for killings ng EJK. So medyo malaking bagay yung testimony ni Colonel Garma.
But how much credence do you give it? Kasi, for example, si Garma was very careful to avoid implicating herself. I mean, para sang Snow White.
Yeah. Well, pwede naman na hindi niya implicate yung sarili na. She can be charged later on kay General Barayuga in another case. But dito at least sinabi niya na inutusan siya initially na kausapin yung isang Colonel Leonardo in this case and then mag-put up ng structure at sinabi ni Leonardo sa kanya yung lahat ng nangyari. No? So she was aware of all this information. So malaking bagay din on the part of Colonel Garma na insider siya. It can be used doon sa ICC, in fact, yung sworn statement niya on the crime against humanity.
Kung if
Pero
we're
Mr.
as a lawyer,
Colmenares, may mga nagsasabi ngayon na dahil lumalabas na anyway ang mga details na yan and people are coming out to talk, sabi nila hindi na daw kailangan ng ICC, bakit di na lang daw dito sa Pilipinas imbestigahan? What do you think of that proposal?
Mistaken kasi ang ICC is a criminal proceedings. Ang Quad is just an administrative proceeding. Walang makukulong sa Quad here, ang kaso kasi dito sa Pilipinas, may kakaibang In fact, it was encapsulated by one of the victims. Tinanong siya, bakit hindi kayo nagkaso dito? Sabi niya, una po, mahirap lang kami. Pangalawa, hindi amin yung batas. Hindi sa aming panig yung batas. So, basically, ang problem dito kasi ngayon, ang mga kaanak ng biktima, una, hindi sila binigyan ng report ng police, ni mga blotters, SOCO reports, wala, blanco talaga yan. May isang witness doon sa Quad na ang sabi niya, ang anak niya, 9 years old, binaril sa kilikili. Nang lumabas ang death certificate, bronchopneumonia ang nilagay. So paano kami magkaso sa police? Hindi naman pala namatay sa EJK, sabihin ng korte, bronchopneumonia naman pala to Yung mga witnesses nila, 2017, 2018, medyo hindi ko alam kung mahanap pa nila yun sa ngayon. Kaya ang ICC nagsimula na yan 2017, 2018, ang investigasyon, mahaba na Yung korte ngayon pala magsisimula yan and I'm not too sure na maging advantageous, at least sa ganitong kalagayan ng any court case against President Duterte, especially since marami pa rin officials sa gobyerno ang medyo sa kanya, loyal sa kanya sa ngayon.
okay,
Noong 2021, nag-request si Solicitor General Guevara sa ICC, nabigyan sila ng puwang para ipakita sa ICC na gumagana yung ating justice system. Binigyan sila ng almost a year. Wala ring nangyari. Walang nadagdag na kaso dun sa libo-libong pinapatay ng EJK. No?
Tama.
Ngayon, halos tapos na. Ngayon, halos tapos na yung ICC. No? Timing na lang para ipadala yung international warrant. Kaya medyo too late na dahil tapos na yung preliminary investigation.
Okay, Kong, as a
Yes,
lawyer, if
patapos
you're going
na rin
to
yun. So,
if you're going to assess this case, this testimony of Garma, Kong, as a lawyer, where would you put Garma? Should she be a respondent in the ICC case, or is she better off as a witness in the ICC case?
as of now, based sa revelation niya, witness siya, siyempre, pwede siyang gamitin ng prosecutor. Ang ICC case kasi is reserved for the highest officials committing the most serious crimes against humanity. So ang target ng ICC, they don't really go for the lower, but kung kakayanin nila na presidente o prime minister or at the very least mga general, so doon sila. No? So for now, ang testimony niya can be of course submitted sa ICC and bahala ang prosecutor kung paano siya i-treat. Ang kakaiba lang dito, pwede naman siyang respondent din, pero at the same time, ang testimony niya pwede rin magamit siyempre ng prosecutor kahit na respondent siya. So, depende yan sa prosecutor kung paano i-handle yan. But I think very important that, in fact, we're challenging President Marcos na isubmit nyo kaya sa ICC yung sworn statement. At very important na officially mabigay nyo sa ICC despite your pronouncements na ayaw nyo na mag-cooperate sa ICC because this is a major breakthrough naman yung nangyari kay Colonel Garma.
Kung ang sabi po ng DOJ, they're willing to investigate and do a preliminary investigation into the findings ng Quadcom if somebody files a complaint. So apparently hindi sila pwedeng motu proprio. I don't know why. But that's what they're saying. Dapat may magsampa muna ng kaso at doon lamang aandar ang gulong. What do you think of that? And is this on the table for you?
Di ba kung pwedeng motu proprio yan?
Yes, mali palagi. Mali palagi ang pulis diyan at ang mga DOJ na kailangan ng complainant. People of the Philippines nga yan.
Yeah,
Yung
people of the
complainant
Philippines.
is just a witness. Ang complainant is just a witness. Kaya lang ang sagot nila palagi, sino magtitestigo sa amin? That's another story. But you can file the complaint. Hindi pwedeng isasabihin nila na pag walang complainant, walang kaso, lalo na people of the Philippines na mag-prosecute. So, sa akin, pwede nang kasuhan yung ibang generals. For example, General De La Rosa for grave threats or grave coercion. Yung ginawa niya kay Kerwin Espinosa laban kay Senator De Lima. I mean, matindi 'yon, no? Kasi in fact, gusto kong i-add itong Quadcom, it opened a new vista na hindi lang pala ito hinggil sa droga. Now, there are people pala na naging biktima ng drug war pero wala silang kinalaman at all sa droga. At isa na doon si Senator Leila De Lima. Sinabing drug list, nakulong ng 7 taon, walang kinalaman sa droga. General Barayuga, ini-expose at ino-oppose lang ang korupsyon sa PCSO, walang kinalaman sa droga, pinatay under the drug war. Yung lawyers, nabanggit yun sa Quadcom. Lawyers, walang kinalaman sa droga except they represented drug suspects, pinatay under the drug war. Human rights defenders, na kung saan wala naman silang sinabi except criticizing Duterte for the human rights violations sa drug war, pinatay din yung mga human rights defenders. So it exposes President Duterte na it's just not about drugs. Sabi niya, it's about the future of our children and the country. Pero no, you're using this against your opponents, your political opponents, and human rights defenders na kinikriticize ang policy mo. So, nagbago tuloy pati ang motivation dito in terms of si Duterte kasi nakipakita sa taong bayan, it wasn't really just about drugs. It was about also something else like oppressing or persecuting opposition leaders.
Congressman, iniimbestigahan na ng DOJ yung kay Wesley Barayuga. Ni-reopen na ng NBI Their
Yes.
can take off from that case, di ba? Pwede naman kahit wala na mag-file ng complaint para lang makuha yung testimony ni Garma. Because she is
Yes.
implicated in that case. Pwedeng DOJ, if they really want to investigate, pwede magsimula dun sa case na yun Ni-reopen na ng
pwede.
NBI actually. Di ba?
Yes. Ang Barayuga case, Ami, tama ka, it can start now. In fact, pwedeng may separate case lang yan against those responsible like Colonel Leonardo, kung sino man yung tinuro doon sa kasong yon, like Colonel Garma, of course. Because that's a separate matter. Pwede talaga yan. In fact, tingin ko, ang nagsumusuporta kay General Garma, malalakas naman na marami siyang mista, marami siyang mga nagdidemand ng justice sa kanya. So yeah, it can prosper. Dito at least, yan ang kakaiba kumpara doon sa ibang mahihirap na AJK victims ng drug war. I think General Barayuga's case can really prosper, especially since proven na wala talaga siyang kinalaman sa droga. It's all about corruption in the PCSO, kaya siya pinatay.
Kung maliban dyan sa mga kaso na yan, baka may isa tayo nakakalimutan na malaking krimen din. Kahit mahirap sampahan ng kaso. Yung krimen na binanggit ni Colonel Espinido, na sabi niya na the biggest criminal organization is the Philippine National Police. Sabi ni Shell Jokno last week, Duterte has transformed the Philippine National Police into a killing machine. At sabi ng isang leader kahapon ng human rights ay this is the biggest serial killer in the history of our country. So, ibig sabihin na kung yung institusyon na winawasak ng ganitong klaseng programa ni ex-President Duterte is unmeasurable. Kahit walang kaso na pwedeng isama. Pero dapat laging ipamukha that our institutions are being destroyed. No? Yun yung hindi na pag-uusapan.
Tama lang, tama. In fact, pero matagal nang sinasabi ng human rights defenders yan eh. At the time of Gloria Arroyo, libo rin yung EJK doon eh. Ang mga biktima nga lang doon, aktivista, ang warning doon, ginamit yung at that time the state security forces for EJK, General Palparan and so on. But nobody really took that seriously eh. Kasi parang mga aktivista yan. Ngayon, later on, thousands nang pinatay sa EJK under Duterte. So, that is a lesson. No? There are two lessons here eh. Na dapat sawatain itong mga paggamit ng kapulisan, state security forces, military for yung mga katulad na, yung mga EJKs and forces appearances. Siguro, ang second lesson dito, pag nasa poder kayo, huwag kayong mag-abuso. Kasi there will come a time na abutin kayo ng hustisya eh. And that's what's happening now. Kasi if you look at the Quadcom, the police were so, arrogant during the time of Duterte. Medyo marami sa kanila takot na maimbestiga doon eh. So, yeah, yan talaga. They were so assured during the time of Duterte na walang mangyayari sa amin. Presidente ang nag-assure na walang mangyayari sa amin. And now, kahit si President Duterte cannot even assure na hindi siya makulong. So, that's a lesson na rin dito sa nangyari sa EJK kay President Duterte na sana huwag pamarisan ng mga susunod na mga presidente ng ating bansa.
Pero sir, sundutin ko naman from a different point of view or a different angle. I mean, well, it's good that yung Quadcom marami na uungkat na mga revelations that we would never have seen or heard from in the previous administration. But on the other hand, some are also pointing out that this is the same Congress that cheered on the drug war in the previous administration. More or less the same people. I mean, the faces do look familiar. And it is a change of tune by most of them. Of course, there were a few who were consistent from before, those who opposed the drug war in the lower chamber. But most of them cheered it on. And now that it's politically convenient, medyo gumanon.
Yes, correct ka dyan, Ed. Nung panahon ni Duterte, everybody was praising the drug war. Walang nagre-reklamo against China sa West Philippines. Ilan lang sa amin, ilan lang kami ang nagsasalita on that. Tapos ngayon biglang tapang-tapang na nila against China, etc. Ngayon may investigation. Pero siyempre, sunggaban pa rin yan ng mga pamilya ng biktima. Whatever the background. Kasi this is just an opportunity na talaga may chance sila na isip nila na magkaroon ng linaw ang pagkamatay ng kaanak nila eh. So, yun pa rin ang kinaiba rin siyempre ng tawag dito ng ICC sa Quadcom because of course this is just a congressional investigation eh. So siyempre subject yan sa vagaries ng kung ano man yung ihip ng hangin. Kaya maganda talaga din na sa korte sana yan like the ICC. But in any case tama ka Ed na another lesson siguro yan na pag you are a member of Congress or the Senate for that matter, checks and balance yan. Hindi kailangan sumunod ka sa presidente every time the president says so. Tsaka sa subordinates naman, mga cabinet member, if you think the president is wrong, it's your duty to the Filipino people to say that it's wrong. Pinamimigay sa China ang West Philippine Sea, tahimik ka lang. You're the NICA head, you're the security agency, National Security Agency head ka, tahimik ka. Di ba? Yung ganun sa PNP rin, mga PNP generals ng panahon yon, ni wala kayong haniho doon sa drug war. So basically, that's a third lesson siguro na titigan nyo naman if you're in an appointed position, elected position, your role in the constitutional scheme of things na checks and balance ito. Hindi pwedeng payagan ng isang tao to rule over the country by whim and by arbitrary decisions. So, but still, despite that, magandang development ang Quad, and many of the victims we're very happy that the Quad, in fact, the fact na nakapagkwento sila sa Quad, alam mo, pag tinatanong ko sila, tuwan-tuwa sila na at least lumabas. Kinikim-kim nila yan for so many years. At sa ngayon na ilabas nila at na-confront nila ang mga police officers na tingin nila pumatay sa kaanak nila, na-confront nila at hindi makasagot sa kanila. At in the end, very, very important development itong Quad hearings, and I hope ituloy pa nila.
Pero just 3 months ago, Kong Neri, yung mga senador na nag-iimbestiga, sinisisi pa yung mga biktima. Bakit daw hindi sila nagsampa ng kaso noon? Sinisisi pa yung mga abogado, no? Kaya medyo uminit yung ulo ko nung pinapanood ko yun no?
Yeah, well, ganoon lang talaga. Kaya ang fourth lesson siguro dyan, pumili na mabuting senador. Hindi yung depende sa, di ba? In any case, nandyan na tayo, and I hope na ang Senate rin, of course, can also take up the cudgels of EJK, no? So, yeah, basta the Quadcom is doing well as far as the victims are concerned, ituloy lang nila at maungkat pa. Sana naman, ito yung, there is a new vista opened by the Quadcom. Yung sinabi kong mga pinatay, na hindi naman involved sa drugs talaga. Kasi EJK nung drug suspects yung first meetings ng Quad. Ito ngayon, ito yung mga sinabi ko na opposition leaders, anti-corruption general, di ba? Human rights defenders, lawyers, na dapat din imbestigahan ng Quad because they died in the same pattern. They died without justice then, or in the case of Senator De Lima, wala pang hustisya ang pagkakulong niya. And of course, ang mga witnesses doon, marami din And I'm sure marami pang revelations kung sakaling buksan ng Quad Committee and this vista opened by the revelations sa recent Quad hearings.
Okay, maraming salamat. Thanks for joining the Storycon. Human rights lawyer and former Congressman Neri Colmenares.